Hey, this is Eli, aka Devoted Day Trader. On today's recap, I'm gonna talk about the value of making a mistake. So today I did make a mistake which cost me the day. I pretty much had 3 losers in a row. I traded DOCU, big lots, and ROKU. The DOCU mistake is something that I'm going to focus on. I'm not too upset about the big trade, just that the odds weren't in my favor, and the ROKU trade, it was a decent trade. So let's get to the trade. So on DOCU sign, it gapped up huge about well, not well about 7% in the pre-market because it beat its quarterly earning and its revenue, and so the mistake that I made on DOCU. Before we get to that, on the daily chart, it's above all this resistance. So there's no resistance to the left. So this thing has clear room to just continue moving higher unless people are taking profit. So the game plan for this was, I told myself that if pre-market low, so this line right here, if this line holds, I'm gonna take it long, because usually what I have noticed is that most stocks that push higher usually sell off to pre-market low and then they take off. So that's what I was waiting for, but the mistake that I made, once I saw that pre-market this low, this level, which has been acting as support in the pre-market, was penetrated and violently, I should have changed my bias and started thinking about going short, especially considering, well, we did have the 200 right here, so I feel like the 200 was acting as support at this point, but I should have anticipated eventually the 200 is going to turn to resistance, considering that pre-market low was penetrated violently. But I had another level, this 72.98, which pretty much coincided with the 73 whole number, and it's on the daily chart, it's the top of this consolidation. So I figured now, instead of pre-market low, the stock was bouncing off that 73 level, and as soon as this bar looked like it was going to engulf this bar, considering we had a bottoming tail at this support, I went long, but I was stopped out. I could have flipped my position and went short, but I didn't want to do that. But yeah, so the mistake that I made on this trade is, if pre-market low is penetrated and your original plan doesn't look like it's panning out, think about going in the other direction, because I could have went short here with a stop right below pre-market high, and I could have, well, I don't think it would have been the greatest trade. It would have been a 1-to-1, because I would have put my stop at the high of the breach of pre-market low, which is now resistance. So yeah, I don't think this would have been a great short either. Anyway, yeah, so that was the mistake that I made on DOCU. I did trade big, and big, I'm not mad at it. So big loss was up about 20 in the pre-market, about 20%, because it topped its revenue estimate for the quarter, and it also announced that it's going to be handing out quarterly dividends. But I saw that pre-market high, this level was acting as resistance, and the pre-market, it got to this level, which also coincided with on the daily chart, and in late October, it rejected like 23.80 or 79 and came down. So pre-market high coincided with this daily resistance. So I thought that was potentially the top. And on the 5 minute, we had two topping tails at that resistance. So I went short, trusting that the stock was not going to penetrate pre-market high. But it did sell off for a little bit, but then it just sprouted. This bar right here, it took me out. It just took me out. I did consider flipping my position and going long, but I didn't want to chase it, and plus I would have to put my stop at the low of this. I knew that we had a resistance at 24.65, so I didn't think this was the greatest trade in terms of risk to reward ratio, because this would have been most likely a one-to-one trade, so I did not want to take it. So I turned to my buddy Roku, hoping that Roku will save the day, right? Because Roku usually saves my day. And on Roku, what I saw was that this double bottom with a lower high. This double bottom with a lower high, and we got above a previous closing price. We got above the 200. So I went long, hoping that it was gonna, consolidate here maybe, and get to at least yesterday's high. So on the 5 minute, yeah, to 153.35. That was my target, but I put my stop right below this igniting 2-minute bar, and I was stopped out. And yeah, so I stopped trading after that, because obviously I'm on the wrong side today, and I want to conserve my capital, to trade another day. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment below, and I will see you guys on Monday. Peace.